Hi there, Coach Steph Kelsey. So glad you're here with me. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I would love for you to just continue to be with me each week, Fridays, when the videos drop. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about holiday stress. Oh, can't you feel that when you are going to move back into a place? Oftentimes you're going maybe home to where you grew up. You can so easily feel like a little kid again, or you just have relationships that are a little bit strenuous. You're trying to maybe please lots of people. Maybe you're trying to just stay out of the way of people. But whatever your circumstance is, I hear all the time how stressful holidays can be for people. So I wanted to kind of start us off by just inviting you to process your feelings before you go. Process what usually happens when you show up at these spaces. Maybe you get triggered really easily. Maybe there's a certain person or persons that trigger you really easily. So the more prepared you go ahead of time by processing through how it feels when you normally go, then you can kind of start figuring out what are some things you can put in place to help you cope through this time easier and enjoy it instead of feel super stressed about it. You can enjoy it when you know you have a plan in action. So process first. Second, this is hard, but forgive. Forgive, because a lack of forgiveness holds your healing back. And for you to be healed, forgiving. So old wounds that are still festering or that are still just holding you back in ways. If you can forgive, it doesn't mean that you condone somebody else's behavior. It just means I'm gonna let this go so I'm not carrying the stress, the anxiety, the maybe anger, frustrations. So moving into a place of forgiveness by choice, not because it feels right, not because it feels good in the moment, but because you want to release yourself so you can heal and move forward. And I put that second on purpose, even though it feels really soon in this process of just processing first your thoughts, your feelings, how you normally show up and what it feels like for you. And then forgiveness, because the third one is heal. And for you to heal, there has to be that forgiveness. We kind of just talked about that. But I want you to heal to be able to move forward. And part of that healing may just look like, I need to know I have agency of myself. I need to know I'm not a little kid anymore. I need to set these boundaries in place. If a certain situation typically happens, maybe you set an exit plan up. And so part of this healing is giving yourself space to move out of a place that feels unsafe for you. Even if it's emotionally unsafe, but it's physically safe, you want to make those places that's emotionally safe for you. So you can do things like, hey, I'm running to the corner store, there's something I wanted to get, and you just take a breather. You go outside, you walk down to the store, you get in your car, you drive down to the store, drive and go get a coffee somewhere. Like, find these little things. Again, this is in your processing and thinking ahead, but you're healing, you are creating a space, a safe space that you know you've pre-planned and pre-thought about, that if your anxiety starts rising, you can go to these safe places. You can calm yourself, take those deep cleansing breaths, and get ready to either enter back in or decide maybe an hour is enough this time. Maybe I can go home early. So also having that exit plan. Maybe you have like a key word that you talk to with a spouse or whoever else is going with you in the same vehicle. And you have, this word that you all know that you decide to start moving on and saying your goodbye and heading out. So finding those places will help you heal because you're giving yourself safe space to be able to process and to take yourself out of an unhealthy or an unsafe space. So the last thing is restore. Restoring, looking at those relationships, looking at those places. Where can I enter back in, again, in those safety zones for me? So this is not all up to you. We cannot be in charge of how the other person will respond. But how can you bring restoration on your side? How can you, if you feel like you are in a combative situation often with a certain person, how can you just say, I'm going to just tell them one affirmation and then I'm going to make space and go on the other side of the room? Or just finding those little small key things to bring restoration. And that doesn't mean to put yourself in harm's way. It just means that you are being authentically you at all times. So I hope these things help. I have experienced some of these things myself, looking after yourself and really processing through and making sure you keep that safe place for you is so very important. I hope these holidays are a blessing for you, and I hope that you can maybe enter them in a little different way this time and really give yourself a lot of grace and space and love for yourself so you can give it out to other people. So happy holidays to you. Love from Coach Steph. And thank you again for being here with me. I know life can be so messy, but you don't have to be. Thanks so much.